Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at SODO Kamen Rider Saber Book 3 featuring SODO Kamen Rider ZeroOne. So once again, it is not a full Saber book. We'll get there. Right off the bat you can see kind of boring packaging. Once again, we do not have, fun artwork for the box, but it's good because this way I feel less guilty about throwing this box out. So let's go ahead and take a look. If we open this up, we can see we have 12 new boxes, and I will say things are looking up for Saber because the ratio has finally shifted in his favor. So book 1, 2 to 4 in ZeroOne's favor. Book 2 was evenly matched 3 and 3. Finally, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 characters for Saber and only 2 for ZeroOne. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I think the next set is going to be 100% Saber, which is crazy to think. But let's take a look at what we get in this lineup here. So here we have Saber, I believe, using the Three Little Pigs book. I think that's what this one is. Which I honestly can't remember if he ever did that. I guess he must have done it in at least one episode, but I really don't remember that happening. But okay, if they say so. Next up we have... Alright, so this is Blades using all 3 of his books, which is very cool. This is a form I'm actually really excited for. The other thing is you can take these off and switch them around. So if you wanted to use, like Unicorn or Peter Pan on Saber or something like that. I guess technically not because Saber uses Brave Dragon, but you could at least use Peter Pan on Saber if you wanted to, which is pretty cool. The belts won't necessarily match, but you can go ahead and put those side pieces, mix and match, which is pretty neat. Putting that off to the side, the next one we have is Espada with all 3 of his books. Pretty cool as well. I'm kind of hoping that there's a minimal amount of stickers on these, but we'll see how that goes. So pretty cool there. And then the last one is the one I'm most excited about, I'll be honest. We get Buster. I'm a huge Buster fan. Love his design. Love the giant sword. So this is going to be very, very cool. Very much looking forward to him. And then we are moving on to the ZeroOne portion. We have this form whose name, I'll be honest, I don't remember. It showed up in like one episode towards the end of the series. But this was when, I think this was when Vulcan transformed with the Dire Wolf key. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's what this form was. When he kind of fused with Naki. Because he's got the Wolverine claws and everything. It's a cool form. I like it. It wasn't in the show very long. But it did get a SODO appearance, so here it is. And then the last one in the set, I gotta be honest, this is from one of the movies I haven't seen yet. It's some kind of like foot soldier, shock trooper type of thing. And, let me see, can I actually read what its name is? This is the Abdom? I don't know what that is. So it's some kind of trooper from that movie I haven't seen yet. So we'll take a look at that one. But that's pretty much it for the boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and get these all put together and stickered up. And then we will take a closer look. So here are all 6 fully stickered up and assembled. We'll start over here on the left with Saber. So I'm going to unplug him from the base here. And they do that thing where they have the piece on the back for the 2 skirt pieces, but it still has a peg hole for the stand, which I really appreciate because SODO was not always like that. But anyway, here is Saber with the 3 little pigs. So there's going to be a lot of different Saber figures where it's just basically Saber, but with one of the sides different for the different form changes. I really don't remember him using 3 little pigs all that often, but I'm sure it happened at least once. You can take a look at the head sculpt here. It's got the brick house kind of on the side of the face, which looks kind of neat. You can see that the driver is actually made of green plastic, which I don't love. Obviously, it's because of the sprue and everything, but it stands out a little bit against the belt and everything. But you have a nice sticker here on the front. Some stickers over here for the eyes of the pigs. You do get a brick house piece that does peg into the side of his forearm. Now, they don't have the straw house or the wood house, but they have said in the blog post that they are eventually going to make those available, so you will be able to use all 3 of the little pig houses eventually. And then, of course, you have the sword, which has 1 big sticker on it. You have some stickers here on the arm for Brave Dragon, literally exactly the same as the other 2 sabers we've seen in the past. Pretty much this whole side, the Brave Dragon side, is exactly the same as we've seen in past releases. The head and then this side is different. Now, the way these work, you technically could take this side piece off and take the skirt piece off and switch it out. Like, say, for example, when we get over here to Blades, he's got the Peter Pan form. You technically could pop that side off and put it over here. Now, the head wouldn't match because this head obviously has, 3 little pigs built into it. These do not come off, unfortunately. You can't, like, pop off sides of the face. I guess they just thought that would be too difficult. It was something they did for build, so it seems like it wouldn't be impossible. They did have different, halves of the head for build come off, but I guess they just didn't want to bother with that here. So, you would have to get... I don't think they've made one that's half Saber and half Peter Pan, so you wouldn't be able to have the head correct. But you could technically switch out the side pieces and the skirt pieces, and then you could maybe give them, like, the generic Saber head with the Peter Pan halves. So, there is some playability with the line in that respect. I'm not going to demo it here, but it is possible. I think I've showed before how, like, these pieces just come off. I'll take this off just to show you. If I can actually get this to pop off. But these just peg on like that. So if you have any of the other halves you want to switch out, you can just pop them off and pop them back on, or you can fling them across the room, whatever. Now this only works for the main 3. For Saber, Blades, and Espada. Obviously, it's not going to work for someone like Buster. But it is an option if you would like to mix and match and switch them around a little bit. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get into articulation. Pretty standard for SODO figures. You got the head on a ball joint, but a really nice range of motion. You can really look up pretty far, look down pretty far, side to side, no problem. Even rock back and forth a little bit. He does have the butterfly joint. Now these are just kind of loosely pegged in there, but you can see the space is kind of wide enough that it acts as a butterfly joint, so you can move back and forth. Shoulder pad is on a hinge, but then otherwise you have the typical swivel and rotation. You have bicep swivel. They corrected the elbows going too far back, so they stop where they naturally should now, so you have 90 degrees in the elbow. The wrist is kind of on a ball joint. You kind of have to bring it away from the wrist a little bit, but you do get kind of a small ball joint range of motion there in the wrist. Waist swivel, ball joints back here for the 2 skirt pieces, as you can see. And you could take this completely off if you want. They just peg into the back. You have a ball joint in the hip, as well as a thigh swivel. A little over 90 degrees in the knee, and then a ball joint in the ankle. And this guy's got a lot of paint. All the legs are paint, just the feet are stickers. There's this one little sticker here on this skirt piece, which I think is kind of weird, but that's there. This is, I think, yeah, that's paint. I think the whole arm is paint. Just the eyes for the pigs. The eyes for Saber. These pieces here on the side of the blade on his head. The driver, I went over pretty much everything else. This is paint. So he looks good. Like I said, it's an odd form to focus on, but here it is. And like I said, if you want to switch them around, you can. And he does come with some alternate open hands. You can see I've put on the base there. So let's move on over here to Fantastic Lion, which is Blade using all 3 of his blue books. Kind of his complete form. He's got a lot going on, and this always pops off when I have him pegged into the stand, but he's got a lot of skirt pieces going on. So this one is on a hinge, and this is actually part of the driver. These 2 are on this skirt piece, like the ball joints, pretty much exactly the same as Saber's works. And then there's another piece pegged in on top of that, but still has the peg hole for the stand. So even though this skirt piece is pegged into his belt, and then this skirt piece is pegged into that skirt piece, you can still peg in the stand up top. Otherwise, you have these cape pieces that are very similar to the normal blades we saw in book 1. They kind of peg into the back and clip into his collar. So you would have to put them on after you peg in the 2 sides. But you have the unicorn over here. You have Peter Pan over here with the hook. You got the sword. That's one big sticker. You do have a decent amount of stickers here on the unicorn. Let me zoom in here a little bit. So it's actually painted, but all of the kind of light blue spots are stickers. On the forearm, the bicep, a little bit here on the head, the eyes a sticker. The eyes for the lion are sticker. The driver's a sticker. The legs are all painted. I mean, that's a lot of beautiful paint there. Just the feet are stickers, just like Saber. You do have the belt straps just on the front though, no back belt straps. And then I believe that's paint, but that's a sticker and that's a sticker. And then of course the visor is a sticker as well. But yeah, very cool. And like I said, if you wanted to pop off this side and switch it out with one of the sabers, you absolutely could do that. I'm not going to bother to demonstrate it here. I've showed you how they disconnect and everything. But it gives you a lot of options, which I think is fun. But yeah, this form looks really cool. I'm glad they gave us this form. He's got all the same articulation as Saber, so nothing new there. But yeah, he's really cool. I like him a lot. Like I said, he's got a lot of stuff pegged into his butt, but it kind of builds it out fairly. Like, this is actually pretty far away from the body because of how far they're like layered on top of each other, but it works. It still looks pretty good. Next up, we have Golden Allergida, which is Espada's 3-book form. For the most part, I like it. It's a lot of different weird shades of yellow. For whatever reason, like, there are some different shades of blue over here, but they are a little bit more cohesive. And he's just got a lot of weird shades. So he's got like a gold over here, which I believe is the exact same piece from his normal Espada set. And then he's got his head with all 3, which looks good. And it has the visor, and then the visor piece around the back. Those are all stickers. Over here, this is gold paint, which is nice. But it's a different shade of gold from the other side. And then this piece on the back is just like a mustard yellow, which doesn't match anywhere else. So the hedgehog is kind of a dull yellow, which isn't bad. You've got this hinge piece again on the driver. Got some stickers here. This gold here on the thigh is a sticker. The kneecaps are stickers. And then around the back of the feet are stickers. The molding all looks good. I think it definitely looks good. It's just the different yellows are throwing me. I think it's mostly this mustard yellow piece. If this was at least the same color as this, I feel like I could get behind it. But you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different shades of yellow going on here. The sword looks great. And ultimately, I do like the form. I like how he has the 2, capes on the shoulders up here, so that kind of evens it out. But overall, it's a lot of different shades of yellow. But I've always liked the genie lamp shoulder pad. I think that looks pretty cool. And then this is supposed to be the 3-headed dog, Cerberus. So you can see he's kind of got the 3 dogs here on his forearm piece. But then again, they only paint the front of it, which is kind of a bummer. I get it, it's a budget thing. So ultimately, I do like it, but I think out of the 2, I think I like Blades a little bit more. It's a little bit more successful. He's got a lot going on his back, but he's definitely got more cohesive shades of blue. But forget all those. Let's get to the real star of this set. Here he is right here. Buster is fantastic for so many reasons. First of all, he's got like no stickers. This guy is all paint. He looks amazing. I've always liked this form. I love his giant sword. It pegs onto his back perfectly. You just go ahead and pop this off. It's got a little peg where the book would go, and it's got a little peg hole there. It's perfect. When you want to put it in his hand, you just go ahead and take this off, this little connector piece. You just kind of put off to the side. You can peg it into the stand. I'll show you that in a moment. And then you just peg this half in the top and this half on the bottom. And there you go. We've got his giant Buster sword. You can get that on the shoulder pose. Fantastic. And like I said, very minimal stickers. The eyes are 1 sticker each. And then you have these little gold accent colors, like right here, right around the wrist, and then down here on the thighs. And that's it. That's all. Oh, I'm sorry, the belt. And this little yellow on his driver piece there. He doesn't even have belts around the side, just around the front. So, fantastic. I love him. He looks great. I love the giant sword. I love that it pegs into his back. Now, he's got a kind of a different setup. You can see, I mean, the piece doesn't seem as large as theirs does, but you still get a butterfly effect. It just doesn't, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just imagining it. For some reason, it just looks smaller on Buster, but it doesn't matter. Nice range of motion there. His arms can actually go back. I don't know why they didn't bother to correct that on him, but otherwise, he's pretty much got all the same articulation. Ball joint. thigh, knees, ball joint in the ankle. And I'm sorry, I forgot to say, Espada has all the same articulation. These three all have the same articulation over here. But yeah, he looks great. I love him. I think he looks fantastic. I think the sword looks amazing. This is all paint on the sword, which I really appreciate. So yeah, he's definitely my favorite of this box. And that's probably dumb to say, but it's true. He looks great. I love everything about him. He's one of my favorites so far. But what I was going to say is he does come with open hands, as you can see here, which are nicely painted. You can peg this in, let's see, somewhere down here. It'll peg in there for storage. But yeah, he looks great with it stored on his back. He looks great holding it. Very, very cool. Love Buster. He looks fantastic. So that's going to do it for our Saber part of the box. Now we're moving into some more ZeroOne characters over here. We have, and I want to read this sticker to get the form name right because I never remember it. Orthros Vulcan? Okay, there you go. I believe this is when he uses the Dire Wolf key from Naki in the Shot Riser here, and it gives him this form. It's kind of like the two of them fused together. It's a neat form. I like it. I think the color scheme's cool. He's got the giant claws, which I appreciate. They do give you these extra pieces, so if you want to take this out, this is one solid piece, and then they give you, let me make sure I'm grabbing the right one, these little pieces that you can peg in instead if you want them to be like retracted claws. So that's pretty cool. I like that they give you both of those. There's not really a good place for them to peg into the stand, which is kind of a bummer, but I like that they're included. So you can decide which you prefer, if you want him to retract the claws and like use the Shot Riser. Of course I like the claws, so I'm going to leave them on. But this is all stickers, all here on the shoulder pads and the chest piece. That's all stickers. Tons of stickers on the face, but they look good. Pretty cool. The eyes are stickers. All of this on the side over there. You have some stickers here on the belt. I don't know why ZeroOne always gets the full belt treatment. Saber never does. The belt strap only goes on the front for Saber. And then I've given him the Shot Riser as the driver, but they do, of course, include a weapon version not attached to his belt. And then they also give you the belt piece to show that the driver's not attached there. So you do have those options as well. And then you have some stickers. This is actually paint, but just these two stickers over here on the thigh. The kneecaps are stickers. So, no, I'm sorry. The kneecaps are paint. I apologize. That's what I meant. They're no, now I'm contradicting myself. No, those are paint. Those are definitely paint. But yeah, he looks good. Definitely looks good. I like the retractable claw pieces, and I like the ability to have the driver attached or not. So, very, very cool there. Very cool. Now, as far as articulation goes, shoulders are attached. Shoulder pads are attached to the arm. And he's got a similar connection, but he doesn't have that wide spot to give him the butterfly joint. So no butterfly joint for him. Arms can go 100% back, 180 degrees. So they did not correct that. So the ZeroOne characters don't have that new molding. The arms are just normal, or I should say the hands are just normal pegs. There's no ball joint there. So anytime you have a ZeroOne character, it's going to be the older body type. But still, really like the form. Stickers weren't as bad as I thought. Love the retractable claw option. And then, of course, the driver options. So, very cool. And you do get some additional open hands there, which I've attached to the base. Like I said, I wish there was some way to attach these to the base. But because they use that kind of Tetris piece L shape, they do that so you don't peg them into the wrong arms, which I appreciate. There's only one way to attach them. Also, they only give you a sticker for each side of these, so I would advise attaching them to the arm and then putting the stickers on so you don't accidentally attach the stickers to the back, because you can only attach them one way. Even though they look identical, you can only attach them one way because they use that L-shaped connection piece. So, just a little tip there for that. And then over here we have this guy that I'm really not that familiar with. His name is Kamen Rider Abdom. Abaddon? I don't know. He's apparently from one of the movies that I haven't seen yet. And I think he's some kind of shock trooper because they give you a lot of different sticker options. So you can see here, he's got 2 shoulder pads. He also comes with a 3rd shoulder pad for his right arm. And there's a bunch of different sticker options for that, different colors and such. They also give you different color options for this sticker here on his chest. And I think that's the only place for the different color options. But I guess there's a bunch of different versions of these guys in the movie. And they give you all the options here. So you have the shot riser, you have the slash riser. You also have the shot riser attached as a driver. And then, of course, the slash riser attached as a driver. Plus, you get some open hands here. And again, that extra shoulder pad. So it's a lot of customization. I guess they expect you to buy multiples of these so you can use the stickers to create all the different versions. If that's something you're interested in, go for it. I just made kind of the most basic one that was on the front of the box because I only need one. But he's cool. I mean, you know, he's a cool looking dude. He's pretty basic. He's going to have similar articulation to Vulcan. No butterfly joint there. Arm's going to be able to bend all the way back. You know, otherwise pretty much standard SODO articulation. But he looks cool. He's got some nice paint. I like the color scheme. This kind of grayish green color with the gold, I think, kind of works, especially with the black as an accent color. So, like I said, if you're so inclined to buy multiples and make all the different colored versions, because they're different colors. So, like, there's a dark gray shoulder pad, there's a light gray shoulder pad. I think there's orange, purple, maybe red. So, again, I haven't seen the movie, but apparently there was a squad of these guys. Some of them use a slash riser, some of them use a shot riser. So, all the options are presented so you can customize it to your liking or buy multiples to make them all. But yeah, that's going to basically do it for this set. Like I said, Buster is definitely my MVP, #1 at the top. Then I would say probably Fantastic Line, my second favorite. And then probably Vulcan. And then, I don't know, probably Saber or Spada, and then whichever one. And then this guy's probably my least favorite. Not because there's anything wrong with him. I just not familiar with the character. He's a little bit on the blander side. Perfectly good figure. Nothing wrong with him, just not as exciting as some of the others. But they're all good. I mean, it's a solid collection here. Book 3 is pretty excellent. Definitely recommend picking it up. You know, if it's a situation where you only like one or two, you can hunt down the individual boxes. But I think if you buy the whole box, you won't be disappointed. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.